Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm live on both Instagram and YouTube. If you would prefer to watch this on YouTube, the link is in my profile, my Instagram profile. So you can go to YouTube from there. Hey. So today is Friday, and I've decided that Fridays are going to be, and they happen every time, I just haven't said it as a blanket statement, but Fridays are restorative yoga day. So we're going to do a restorative yoga class today. Anyone who doesn't know what that means that it's going to be like a really chill class. We're going to focus on, lengthening, stretching the muscles, and really just working on calming down the body and the mind by using breath work. So I think this is one of the things that yoga is best at, is teaching you stress coping skills. So we are in a stressful time, and learning how to remain calm and breathe helps our body to feel better, to function better. And when your body functions better, you think clearer, you feel better mentally. So this class is all about just trying to find that space where you feel connected and calm, and create that just for the next hour for yourself, and maybe it'll linger with you. But just kind of using those skills and honing in on those skills so that in the moments that we're all facing, when you start to feel yourself get maybe a little anxious or stressed out, you can remember and kind of come back to the things that we're going to be doing in this class to help you stay calm and just do one day at a time, one moment at a time. So to preface, this class is going to be pretty accessible for most people, but if there's anything that doesn't feel good in your body, if something just feels painful or just you're not sure of that feeling and you don't like it, you're welcome to modify or back off. Just trust your instincts, take care of your body, and let this feel really good today. Second thing, I know a lot of us are still out of work and struggling a little bit, so I want this to be free and open to anyone. This is also going on my YouTube channel, so if you can't stick around for the whole thing, you can go back to my YouTube channel and take the class. If you do feel inclined to donate any money, I have a Venmo account. You can find me at Erica-Porter, and feel free to donate whatever feels good. So thank you guys for being here. So before we start, I want you to find, so I have a bolster here. So if you don't have a bolster, find yourself a pillow, like maybe you have like a big king size pillow on your bed, or a cushion that kind of is similar to this on your couch, or just a regular bed pillow will work too. And then finding something that's kind of like a block. So maybe a book or a couple of books. Something that's steady and got a wide space for you to use. So go ahead and collect those things, bring them next to you on your mat. If you don't have any of these things today, it's okay. You can just sort of modify some poses to figure out what will work for you. But I'm pretty sure we all have a pillow, right? Don't we? So grab your pillow at least. And a book. Does anybody have a book? Maybe a laptop? I don't think a laptop will do the job, but something like this. All right, so we're going to start lying on our back, just flat on your back. Take the palms up, squeeze the shoulders towards each other slightly. Let your feet come about mat width distance and just flop open and just breathing here. So we're just finding this really neutral position to start out with. Just focusing on attempting to relax and let go. So something that can help with this is taking a nice sigh out the mouth. So let's do that 3 times. Start with a deep inhale through the nose. And then open your mouth, sigh it out. 2 more times. Deep inhale through the nose. 1 more, just like that. Deep inhale. And let it go. And then just let your breath kind of settle into a more gentle calmer breath. And then just start to take a little scan of your body. So notice if you're holding any tension in your shoulders, in your jaw, in your forehead, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers, your hips, your knees, your ankles, and your toes. And as you start to find a more relaxed space, just start to try to lengthen your breath. So really slowly inhale, feel how the belly rises, the ribs expand, the chest lifts. And then slowly, with some control, exhale. Feel the chest lower, the ribs retract, the belly lower. So keep breathing like that. As you inhale, you feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, the chest lift. When you exhale, you feel the chest lower, the ribs retract, the belly lower. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. A few more on your own. That 3-part breath. Really trying to fill up the lungs completely from the bottom all the way up to the top. And really trying to get all of that carbon dioxide out all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Every inhale brings you oxygen, which gives you energy. Every exhale, you get rid of that carbon dioxide, which is literal detox for the body. So really attempting to make the most of every breath. So letting go of the focus on the breath, just start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles, and then stretching the arms back behind the head. Find this full body stretch. And then exhale, start to walk the knees in, rolling over to your side, finding a little fetal position here for a moment. And then extending the left leg long. Feel that top arm drag you up. So really trying to exaggerate that drag up, coming into a comfortable seat here. So you're sitting in this comfortable seat. If you'd like to take that book or that pillow and sit up, so block or bolster. So sitting up gets those hip bones above the knees or in line with the knees. And then just bring your hands palm down onto the thighs here. And then again, check in with your breath. So notice if you're still maintaining those nice full breaths. And on your next exhale, just tuck the chin down towards the chest. Take a moment here, breathing. And then letting the head rock, ear to shoulder, just moving side to side. Let this feel good. Connect the movement with your breath. Make sure you're still sitting nice and tall in your seat. Let the spine support you. Then you're going to pause with the left ear to the left shoulder, just holding here for a moment. Try to relax the shoulders down. Good. So taking the right fingertips down to the earth. Take that left arm up and over to the right temple. So you're not forcing this. You're not pulling this. You're just adding a little extra weight. So you can really feel this stretch through the side of the right side of the neck and into the top of that shoulder. So really relaxing that right arm and shoulder. And try to breathe into that space where you feel the sensation in the neck. Good. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, you're going to start to turn the chin down towards that left collarbone and then just move the hand to the back of the head. So you're just grabbing the back of the skull here. Again, you're not forcing this. You're not pulling. You're just putting a little added weight. You should feel the sensation move to the back right side of the neck, into the top of the shoulder. So there's a muscle that runs from the neck, the cervical spine, down to that shoulder blade. So see if you can feel that muscle and try to breathe into it. Again, make sure you're really relaxing this right arm. You breathe into the sensation every inhale. Every exhale, see if you can find a little more length, a little more release. Good, and then slowly start to lift the chin up. So this one's a little tricky. So keep your left ear towards the left shoulder and then start to spin the chin up as if you were looking up at the ceiling, but still tucking the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then stack your palms on the right chest here. So you're just doing a little bit of a tug on that pec. You can even kind of take your hand up to the throat and then just slide it down. So we're getting into the pec, also into these scaling muscles in your throat, which can feel a little uncomfortable. So if you need to kind of tuck the chin a little bit to take some of the sensation out, you can. We're not used to stretching these muscles, so just try to breathe into it. Try to relax the shoulders. Try to open through your throat. Good. Let's take one more really good inhale here. And then exhale, release the hands to your thighs. Let that chin roll back down to the center of the chest. And then roll that head back up on top of the shoulders. Take a moment in stillness. Let those muscles settle in neutral. And then just kind of roll out your shoulders. Shake out your head a little bit. Just organic movement here. Good. And then once you feel settled, just again, tuck the chin down towards the chest and start to rock the head ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Notice how the right side feels compared to the left. It's a very different sensation now. Just observing the way the body can shift and change. And then you're going to pause with the right ear to the right shoulder. Let me get my hair out of the way. So with the right ear to the right shoulder, make sure you're still sitting nice and tall in your seat. Try to relax the shoulders and the arms. And then bring the left fingertips down to the earth. Take that right arm up and over to the left temple. Not pulling, not forcing, just a little added weight to open through the left side of the neck. Relaxing that left arm, relaxing that left shoulder. And just breathing into the sensation. So every inhale, you feel the stretch. Every exhale, you feel a little bit of relief. Lengthening a little more. Good. So on your next exhale, slowly start to tuck the chin down towards your right collarbone. Move the hand to the back of the head. So you're grabbing the back of the skull. You're not pulling or forcing. It's just a little added weight. Now you feel that sensation move from the side of the neck to the back of the neck. So the back left side of the neck, maybe even down into that muscle that connects to the shoulder blade. And try to breathe into it. Good. Remember, this next transition is a little tricky, so watch me. So your chin's gonna start to lift up. That right ear tucks towards the right shoulder, but the chin is starting to lift up towards the sky. And then this time you stack the palms on that left pec. So you might come down the throat and down into that pec. Getting into the scaling muscles in your throat, down into the pec. So just breathe here. Remember, if it feels really uncomfortable, you can tuck your chin a little bit to take it back a notch. It's gonna feel kind of weird and uncomfortable. We're not used to stretching through the throat. Most of us aren't used to stretching through the throat. If you've done this before, it might be a little bit less intense. But I teach this one a lot, and it's always pretty intense. Good. Taking one more deep inhale. And then exhale, release the hands to the thighs, let the chin come back to the center of the chest. Roll the head back up on top of the shoulders. Take a moment of stillness, let those muscles settle. And then start to roll out the shoulders, roll out the head, settling. Good, take a deep inhale, let the arms rise up over the head, palms touch. Exhale, take the left elbow underneath the right. So maybe you can get this wrist wrap here, or maybe you just give yourself a bear hug by grabbing the shoulders. So wherever you get, just pausing here for a moment. And then on an inhale, start to lift the elbows up. Reach the forearms away from your face. Lift the chest up. Open through the throat, looking up. And then exhale, start to squeeze everything back down. Tuck the chin round through the upper back. Good, inhale, lifting up and opening. Exhale, squeezing everything back in. One more time. Inhale, lifting up and opening. Exhale, squeezing in, hold it in for a few rounds of breath. Good, coming back to neutral, releasing the arms, shake the arms out. Good, inhale the arms up over the head, palms touch, look up. Exhale, this time right elbow underneath the left. Again, wrap at the wrist, or maybe just give yourself this big bear hug, whichever is accessible to you. Take a moment here in neutral. Make sure you're still sitting nice and tall in your spine. And then on an inhale, slowly start to lift the elbows up, the forearms away from the face. Lift the chest, lift the chin. And then exhale, squeeze everything down, rounding through the upper back, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift it up and open. Exhale, tucking in and rounding. One more inhale, lifting up and opening. Exhale, tucking in and rounding. Hold it here for a few rounds of breath. Good. Lifting back up. Inhaling the arms up. And then exhale, take the arms down, shake it out. Good. So we're going to remove the props if you have any, and then just come to a tabletop position. So stacking the shoulders over the wrist, the hips over the knees. Let's stretch through your wrist. So keeping the fingers forward, just gonna draw some circles. So take the shoulders forward, come over to the right, over to the left, and forward. So clockwise circles, do that 3 more times. Once you make it back to center, you're going to switch to counterclockwise circles. So over to the left, back, over to the right, and forward. 3 more times. Counterclockwise. Good, and then once you make it back to center, reset. Spin the fingers out to the sides of the mat. So the thumbs are at the top, pinkies are at the bottom. Same thing, rock forward, over to the right, back, over to the left, and forward. So clockwise, 3 more times. Once you make it that 3rd time, switch to counterclockwise. Good. Once you make it through, come back to center. Now this is going to depend on the capacity of flexibility in your wrist. So see if you can start to spin those fingers all the way back towards the knees. If it's a little too much, you can keep them out to the side a little bit. So the thumbs are at the top, pinkies are in towards your midline. Same thing, rocking forward, over to the right, back, to the left, and forward. 4 times total, clockwise. And once you make it through the 4th time, just switch counterclockwise. Good. Once you make it all the way through, just sit back on your heels, just shake very lightly, shake out the wrist. Good. So we're going to set ourselves up for a supported child's pose, or you can do it without the support, but if you've got that pillow or bolster or cushion, you're going to take it in front of you and just wedge it down in between the legs so the knees are kind of wide, and it's just coming about halfway down the thighs here. And then from here, the big toes are touching. If you've got any pain in your knee, you can take a blanket and wedge it underneath those knees and sit back on that blanket or pillow. If the tops of the feet feel a little tight, you can roll up a little blanket and put it underneath the ankle to take a little bit off the stretch from the top of the foot. And then from here, you're just going to fold over. You can take an ear to the bolster and just start breathing. So if you're not using a prop, your forehead would come down on the ground. You can always take that block. If you're not using a prop here, you can take your block and bring your forehead to the block. So just set yourself up so you're comfortable. If you feel any pain, see if there's something you can do to reduce that or take it away completely. And then just folding over, we're just going to take some breath here. So try to breathe into that back body. So similar to the 3-part breath that we started class in, we're going to try to find that in our back body. So start to focus on your low back first. So when you inhale, feel that low back expand. When you exhale, you feel it soften and release. Just focusing your breath into your low back. Good. So start to add that middle back. So when you inhale, feel the low back expand, and that middle back, the ribs, the back of the ribs expand. When you exhale, you feel the ribs lower and the low back release. So it's low back, middle back. Exhale, middle back, low back. Inhale, low back, middle back. Exhale, middle back, low back. A few more rounds like this. So if you have an ear to a bolster, just switch ears. I'm going to stay this way so you can hear me. Now we're going to start to add the upper back, so that space in between the scapula and up into the neck. When you inhale, you feel the low back expand, the middle back expand, the upper back expand. When you exhale, you feel the upper back lower, middle back lower, low back lower. Inhale, low back, mid back, upper back. Exhale, upper back, middle back, low back. Continue like this 3-part breath. We'll just do about 5 more rounds of breath here. Good. Once you make it through your 5th exhale, just bring your chin back to your pillow or bolster and slowly start to rise up. Just removing that prop. Then just make your way back into tabletop position. So from tabletop, one leg at a time, just extend it back, get that blood flow back down into the leg, one at a time. Good. We're going to walk our hands about 2 handprints forward and then come into downward facing dog. This is the only down dog we're going to do today. So just stretch through the ankles and the calves by pedaling out your feet. Good. And then start to walk the feet to the center of the mat, the hands to the center of the mat, finding a ragdoll here. So feet are hip width distance. Bend your knees as much as you need. And just feel the weight of your torso. So you can grab opposite elbows, shake the head out yes and no, shift the jaw left to right. Relax the eyebrows and the forehead. Feel that spine get pulled in the opposite direction. Think about the space in between the vertebrae. Try to breathe into that space. Think about all this fresh oxygenated blood getting into the neck and the shoulders and the face. A much deserved release in the shoulders and the neck. If it feels good to sway a little side to side, you can do that. Good. releasing the hands. Just come all the way down into a little squat, a little ball, and just tuck the head in. Stretch behind the ankles. Maybe you want to come up onto the toes, stretch behind the toes. Good, and then you're going to come all the way down onto your seat. So we're going to do a little hip opener. So get a blanket or your block ready in case you need it. And we're gonna do double pigeon here. So you're gonna take your right ankle on top of your left knee. So this bottom foot is kind of scooching forward so that your shins are stacked. Now this knee might be all the way up here. The leg might be kind of down a little bit. If you'd like to take something to support you to put it kind of underneath that knee, you can. If you'd like to sit up on a prop to help give you a little release in the hips, you can do that. Try to keep this foot flexed if you can. And then you're stacking the shins. You see this little triangle in between the legs. So take a deep inhale, just kind of find a nice tall seat. And then on your exhale, you're going to start to hinge from the hips, folding over. Just take your time. Find your breath. So we're getting into your external hip rotators. So specifically the right hip on this one. You might be feeling it in a few other places too, but this is targeting the outside of that right hip. So if you feel any pulling or pressure in the knee here or this knee, you're always welcome to extend that bottom leg long and just fold over the leg like this. You want to make sure your knees feel okay. Another variation of this pose, if neither of those are working, is you can lay on your back for reclined pigeon, taking the ankle to the knee here, pushing the knee away, maybe grabbing the back of that left thigh. Those all get the outside of that right hip. So let's do about 10 more rounds of breath here, really trying to let the body relax. Just a few more rounds. Good, slowly start to walk yourself up. Take your hands behind you and just take the legs out long and shake it out. Good. Opposite side. So this time you're taking your left ankle to the right knee. Try to keep this foot flexed. Remember, if you want to take a prop, sit it under here to give you a little support, you can. Remember, if you want to keep the leg extended or come down onto your back for reclined pigeon, you can. Whichever variation feels best in your body. You're going to take a deep inhale. And then exhale, hinging and folding, trying to keep the feet flexed to protect the knees. And just breathe into the sensation. So this time we're really targeting this left hip rotator on the outside of that left hip. Hip rotators, there's several. And just try to breathe and relax. It's an intense feeling. So while you're in this, remember that part of this practice is learning to calm your breath down learning to slow it down so that those muscles can release. So I know sometimes sitting in poses can feel very difficult, but learning to breathe and let time and gravity do the work is a really great skill to have. Something that can translate into your day-to-day life. Think about when you face a difficult situation, if you can breathe and sit with it, you can make it through, you can remain calm, which might make you make a better decision, hopefully. It's part of the practice. Just a few more rounds of breath here. Good. Inhale, slowly start to rise up. Take your hands behind you so you can kind of rock back and knock the legs out. Shake them out. Good. So now we are going to take the bolster. So if you have a pillow, couch, cushion, whatever will suffice. You want it to be long behind you. If you'd like to take your block-like prop, maybe it's a book, and bring it to the back edge of that pillow or bolster to kind of give it this angle up, you can do that. You don't have to do that. And then you're going to sit in front of the bolster. So you're not sitting up on top of that. You're giving yourself just like maybe an inch or two of space from the sacrum to the bolster. You're going to start with the knees up. So before you go down into this, watch me do this. So you're going to roll back over the bolster. So when you're here, if this low back feels like it's too much at an angle, like there's any aching in that low back, what you would do is you'd press into the feet, lift the hips up, and kind of tuck the tailbone a little bit to lengthen through that lumbar spine. And then from here, you take the arms out to the side. You don't want them to be above the shoulder height, so it's going to be maybe at or a little below the shoulder height. And then a couple of options with the feet or with the legs. So you can either take the soles of the feet together, knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. This can be a little intense on those inner thighs, so if you want to take a couple of props or pillows and put them underneath the thighs for a little support, you can, or scooch the heels down. If this is just a little too much for you, you can always extend the legs. You can also take the feet mat width distance and knock the knees in. So whatever variation with the legs you prefer, just take the arms out to the side and try to relax. Maybe closing your eyes. Maybe you want to remind yourself of that 3-part breath, breathing into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Exhaling the chest, the ribs, the belly. Just breathing like this. We're getting this nice heart opener. So as you're here, think about the muscles in the front body that we're opening. And every exhale, you feel them release. We're also getting into these muscles in your shoulders. So where the arms connect to the torso, these muscles here in the shoulders, every inhale, you feel that space expand. Every exhale, you feel it release. We're also expanding through this solar plexus, just below where the ribs meet. So not only are we getting this expansion on the front line of the body, think about the muscles in the back body. So that upper back, the shoulder muscles, those muscles that like to get really tight behind the scapula. We're letting them shorten and shrink and kind of giving them a little release in the opposite direction. So feel that back body relax. Feel the front body open and expand. And you'll notice after being here for a little while, you start to feel everything soften. You get a little more comfortable in this pose. Let's take about 10 more rounds of breath. Good. So to get out of this, bringing the knees together, the soles of the feet to the mat. Take your hands by your side. Tuck the chin and press yourself up. So use your arm strength. Coming up. And then you're going to clear off your mat. So we are going to set ourselves up for a really comfortable Shavasana. So I'm going to talk you through some Yoga Nidra while you're there. So I want you to be nice and cozy and comfortable. So if you want to take your bolster, your pillow that you have, and just bring it underneath the knees here. If you need another pillow or a blanket for your head, you can do that. Just coming down, so just make sure that your legs are kind of relaxed and the heels are still kind of touching down. And then your arms come out to the side. If you want to cover yourself in a blanket, you can. It's a little colder today. If you want to put something over your eyes, you can do that. Making sure your arms are about 45 degrees from the body, so you don't want them to be up because that's going to put a stress on the shoulder joint, so keep them down. Let your feet flop open. Let your head be neutral, so your chin is perpendicular to your throat, the back of the head down on the mat. Good, so while you're here in Shavasana, getting nice and cozy, I'm going to talk you through that Yoga Nidra. So you stay down, resting on your mat, and we'll talk you through the Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra is yoga sleep. You're not meant to actually fall asleep. You're supposed to get to that point right before sleep. So your body's going to be totally relaxed, but you're still conscious, you're still awake. If you do fall asleep, that's totally okay, but see if you can stay aware while relaxing at the same time. Remember that this is teaching you stress coping skills. This is allowing you to understand how to release your body while being conscious. So with your eyes closed, finding this nice, comfortable seat or Shavasana on your mat, I'm going to talk you through the different parts of the body. And what I want you to do is you don't have to move. You just have to feel the sensation of that part of the body and attempt to release and relax it. So starting off with your thumb, your left thumb, release and relax your pointer finger, your middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky. Release and relax the palm and the back of the hand around that wrist and up the forearm, around the left elbow, up that bicep and tricep into the left shoulder, into the armpit, down that left side body, down into that left hip, the left hip crease and the glutes, into the top of the left leg, that left quad and hamstring around the left knee, down the shin and the calf, around the ankle, cupping the heel, swooping through the arch of the foot around to the top of the foot. Release and relax the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the fifth toe. Now coming over to that right thumb, release and relax the right thumb, the pointer finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky. Swirling around the palm, the back of the hand, around the wrist, up the forearm, around the elbow, up the bicep and tricep, around the shoulder and into that right armpit, down the right side body into that right hip, the hip crease and the glutes, down the quad, the back of the hamstring around the knee, down the right shin and calf and around the ankle, cupping the heel, swooping through the arch and around to the top of the foot. Release and relax that big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Now feeling the back body connecting to the mat, the backs of the heels, the calves, the hamstrings up into the glutes, into that sacrum and low back, up through the middle back and the ribs, into that right scapula, left scapula, the middle of the back, up the neck into the back of the head. Feel it weigh heavy into the mat. Now feeling the top body connecting with the space in the air around you. Feel the toes, the tops of the feet, the shins, the knees, the thighs, into that hip, pelvic area, into the low belly. Release, relax, up into the solar plexus, that space just below where the ribs meet. Breathe and relax there. Feeling the right chest release, the left chest release, the right collarbone and the left collarbone. Into the throat, feel that cool air move in and that warm air move out. Down the tops of the arms and the palms and the fingers. Feeling your jaw release, a little space between the teeth, shifting the jaw left to right. The tip of the tongue should be where the top teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Relaxing the cheeks, that right cheek, the left cheek, down into the right ear and the left ear. The right eye, the left eye, into the forehead and that space in between the eyebrows. Wrapping all the way around the crown of the head. Now feeling your body as one sensation. Feeling really heavy, rooted, warm, melting down into the earth around you. You start to feel yourself so heavy, so connected to the space around you that you don't even really feel the difference between your body and the space around you. You start to feel the opposite. You start to feel so light. You float up out of your body, free of the body, allowing yourself to tap into that imagination and let yourself go to a place that feels really safe and comfortable to you. Maybe that's right there where you're at. Maybe you have a space from your past out in nature that you've been, or a place that you'd like to go. Just allow yourself to spend a few moments here. Try to tap into all of your senses. What does this place look like? What does it smell like? What's the temperature? Is there a breeze in the air? What does it sound like? See it in front of you, behind you, to the sides of you, above you, and below you. knowing that this space is yours. This calm, safe space is a place that you created for yourself. This is a place that you can go to anytime you want it, anytime you need it. This is your place for you anytime. And so when you feel ready to come back, let's slowly start to bring ourselves back into the body. So deepen your breath. Feel the sensation of the body, the room around you. Start to lick the lips and let the head rock ear to ear. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling out the wrist and the ankles. Reaching the arms back behind you, take a full body stretch. Nice yawn in. And a sigh out. And slowly rolling over to your side, find a fetal position. So curled up nice and cozy on your side for a moment. Just take an opportunity to feel gratitude. So the word yoga means yoke or union. Feel gratitude for taking the time to work on that union between the body and the mind. Taking care of yourself physically helps yourself mentally, helping yourself mentally helps yourself physically. It's that combination. So feel good about that. Feel gratitude. And then when you feel nice and ready, slowly start to drag yourself up to a comfortable seat, bringing the palms together at the heart, feeling nice and tall in your spine. The teacher and the light in me honors, respects, and sees the teacher and the light in you. Namaste. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. I'm doing 2 live streams a week. Wednesdays are a vinyasa flow. I kicked my ass this Wednesday. So if you're looking for a challenging class, come back Wednesday. If you're looking for a restorative, I'm doing it every Friday. If you would like to become a patron of mine, I have a Patreon account. I'll post about that today. Thanks, Sarah. It's literally, I'm just doing $5 a month for a weekly Sunday morning class. So that's 4 classes a month for $5, which is crazy. That's like 1 latte a month, and it would really help me to have the support, and I would love to build a really awesome community. I've got some people over there who have started it with me, and I'm very excited. So I'll put the link on my profile, and you can follow it and sign up. There's also another tier that's $15 a month where we would get a private one-on-one yoga class each month. So if you're interested in that, you can go for the $15 a month. And again, that is crazy. $15 for 4 classes and a private every month. So go get yourself a deal and let me know if you have any questions. And I'm excited to see you guys next week. Thanks for coming.